You might be doing everything right, eating whole foods, walking daily, and taking multivitamins, yet you still feel more tired, swollen, forgetful, or notice your balance slipping. If that sounds familiar, you are not imagining it. Tiny mineral choices in your diet, supplements, or even drinking water can quietly tip the balance between feeling well and feeling fragile. I am Dr. Linda Rose, and I have spent my career caring for people in their 60s, 70s, and 80s. I have seen how a single mineral taken in excess, or one that is missing, can change sleep, circulation, memory, and mobility almost overnight. That is why this video matters. It will help you spot the hidden mineral dangers in common foods and products, and it will give you 3 easy, science-backed minerals to add each day to protect your heart, bones, and brain. I will speak plainly, with real examples from my clinic, and simple steps you can use today. You will learn what to avoid on your grocery shelf, which supplements to be cautious about, and which minerals can be life-changing when used correctly. This is not about fear. It is about giving you control, clarity, and practical, safe actions so you can keep living fully and independently. Before we get started, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel and activate the notification bell, so you never miss a simple, science-backed health tip, designed especially for older adults like you. If you find this video helpful, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0. Your feedback is invaluable and helps me improve these videos for your benefit. Now, let's begin. Mineral 1. Too much sodium, the silent blood pressure killer. When I sit with my patients in their 70s or 80s, many tell me proudly that they no longer use the salt shaker at the table. But here is the truth most people do not realize. Nearly 70% of the sodium in your diet does not come from that shaker. It comes from packaged foods, bread, canned soups, sauces, and even so-called healthy frozen meals. You may believe you are careful, yet you could still be consuming double the safe daily amount without noticing. Why does this matter so much as we age? Because sodium pulls water into your blood vessels, raising blood pressure like turning up the pressure in a garden hose. For younger people, the body often compensates. But for seniors, stiffening arteries and sensitive kidneys mean that extra sodium can quickly lead to swollen ankles, shortness of breath, or dangerous spikes in blood pressure. High sodium intake is also one of the leading hidden triggers for strokes, heart attacks, and kidney damage. I once had a patient, a gentleman in his late 60s, who swore he never salted his meals. Yet his blood pressure kept creeping up. We carefully went through his daily diet together and found the culprits: 2 slices of packaged bread at breakfast, a can of soup at lunch, and a low-fat, frozen dinner at night. Together, these innocent-looking foods gave him nearly 3,500 milligrams of sodium every day, well above the safe 1,500 to 2,000 milligrams for older adults. Once he shifted to fresh fruits, vegetables, and herbs for flavor, his numbers improved within weeks. The danger of sodium is that it does not always cause immediate symptoms. You may not feel shaky or weak, but meanwhile, the walls of your blood vessels are under constant strain. Over time, this strain makes them brittle, paving the way for strokes and memory problems. Some people also experience restless sleep, headaches, or muscle cramps from hidden sodium overload. So my advice is simple. Read labels carefully, rinse canned beans and vegetables before cooking, flavor food with garlic, lemon, or herbs, and enjoy fresh, whole ingredients whenever possible. By being mindful, you can lower sodium without sacrificing taste. Your heart, kidneys, and brain will thank you for it. Mineral 2. Excess calcium from supplements, hardening instead of helping. Many seniors I meet are told to take calcium for strong bones. And while that advice comes with good intentions, I have seen the other side of the story. Calcium is indeed essential for bone health, but when taken in excess, especially through high-dose supplements, it can cause more harm than good. The trouble is that calcium does not always go where we want it to. Instead of lodging safely in the bones, it can deposit in the wrong places, like your arteries, kidneys, and joints. Imagine your arteries like flexible garden hoses. Too much calcium in the blood can turn those hoses stiff and brittle, a process we call vascular calcification. This makes it harder for blood to flow smoothly, raising the risk of heart disease, high blood pressure, and strokes. I once treated a woman in her early 70s who had been faithfully taking large calcium tablets twice a day, believing she was protecting her bones. Instead, her scans revealed calcium buildup in her heart vessels, which explained her new chest tightness and shortness of breath. Kidney stones are another painful result of excess calcium. Your kidneys act like natural filters, and when too much calcium passes through, it can clump together into sharp stones. These stones not only cause severe pain but also increase the risk of infections and kidney damage. And here's something surprising. Too much calcium in the blood can actually make your bones weaker over time because the balance with other minerals like magnesium and vitamin D is disrupted. Strong bones are about harmony, not overload. So how much calcium is truly safe? For most older adults, about 1,000 to 1,200 milligrams per day is enough. And ideally, most of it should come from food rather than pills. Dairy, leafy greens, almonds, and fortified plant-based milks provide calcium in a form your body absorbs more gently. Supplements should only fill in the gaps, and usually in smaller doses, not the giant chalky tablets you see advertised. If you are already taking a calcium supplement, do not panic. Instead, talk with your doctor about checking your blood levels and perhaps reducing the dose. Pair your calcium with magnesium and vitamin D from natural foods, because they work together like a team. Your goal is not more calcium, it is better balance. By being mindful, you protect not only your bones but also your heart, kidneys, and overall vitality. Mineral 3. Too much iron, fueling oxidative fire in the body. When people think of iron, they often imagine energy, strength, and fighting off fatigue. And yes, iron is vital when we are young, especially for women during their childbearing years. But once you are past 60, the story changes dramatically. For many seniors, excess iron is not just unnecessary. It can actually be harmful, quietly damaging organs and speeding up the aging process. Here is why. Iron is a pro-oxidant, which means it can trigger harmful reactions in the body, almost like rust forming on metal. When iron builds up beyond what your body needs, it promotes oxidative stress, which damages cells, blood vessels, and even the brain. Over time, this increases the risk of heart disease, strokes, liver problems, and memory decline. I recall one gentleman in his late 60s who kept taking energy multivitamins loaded with iron. He complained of joint pains, sluggishness, and trouble sleeping. After some simple tests, we discovered his iron levels were too high, contributing to inflammation in his body. The danger is that your body has no natural way of getting rid of excess iron. Unlike sodium or potassium, which are flushed out daily, iron just keeps accumulating unless carefully managed. Men and postmenopausal women are particularly at risk because they no longer lose iron through monthly cycles. This is why most seniors actually need far less iron than they think. What makes this tricky is that many supplements and fortified cereals still contain extra iron, even though older adults rarely need it. That extra dose, when taken daily, can slowly overload your system. High iron levels have also been linked to conditions like type 2 diabetes and even certain cancers, because of the stress it causes at the cellular level. So what is the solution? First, check your supplements. If you are past menopause or are a man over 60, avoid multivitamins that contain added iron unless your doctor specifically prescribes it. Second, focus on balance in your diet. You can still enjoy iron-rich foods like beans, spinach, or lean meats, but do not push for excess. And if your doctor suggests a ferritin blood test, take it. It is the best way to see if your body is storing too much iron. Remember, iron is like fire. In the right amount, it keeps you warm and strong. But too much of it can burn silently from within. Protect your heart, liver, and brain by being cautious with unnecessary iron. Mineral 4. Magnesium. The calming mineral your body craves. If there is one mineral I wish every older adult understood better, it is magnesium. I often call it the calming mineral because it relaxes muscles, soothes nerves, balances the heart rhythm, and even improves sleep. Sadly, many people over 60 are not getting enough, and this quiet deficiency can show up in ways you might never suspect. restless legs at night, muscle cramps, constipation, irregular heartbeat, anxiety, or simply feeling tense and fatigued. Here is the problem. Modern diets are stripped of magnesium. Foods that once contained rich amounts, like vegetables, grains, and fruits, are now grown in soil that is depleted of minerals. Add to that years of taking acid-blocking medications or water pills for blood pressure, and magnesium levels drop even further. I often tell my patients that magnesium is like oil for the engine of the body. Without enough, everything begins to grind and tighten. One woman in her 70s came to me complaining of nightly leg cramps that woke her up screaming in pain. She tried stretching, potassium, even drinking more water. Nothing helped. When we tested her magnesium levels, they were low. Within a few weeks of adding magnesium-rich foods like pumpkin seeds, leafy greens, and a gentle magnesium supplement, her cramps disappeared, and she was sleeping through the night again. That is the power of this overlooked mineral. Magnesium also plays a key role in protecting your heart and brain. It helps relax blood vessels, lowering blood pressure naturally. It stabilizes blood sugar, reducing the risk of diabetes. And research shows it may protect against memory decline and even lower the risk of stroke. For bones, magnesium works hand in hand with calcium and vitamin D to keep them strong. But unlike calcium, it rarely causes problems from excess because your body can flush out what it does not need. So how can you get enough? Aim for about 320 to 400 milligrams daily from both food and supplements if needed. Natural sources include almonds, cashews, avocados, black beans, and dark chocolate. If you choose a supplement, forms like magnesium glycinate or citrate are gentle on the stomach and well absorbed. Magnesium is not a luxury. It is a daily necessity for calm nerves, strong muscles, and a resilient heart. Think of it as one of the simplest ways to restore balance and peace to your body. Mineral 5. Potassium, the balancer of blood pressure and energy. If sodium is the troublemaker that raises blood pressure, potassium is its natural counterbalance. I often describe potassium as the peacekeeper mineral because it helps relax blood vessel walls, steady the heartbeat, and flush out excess sodium through the kidneys. For seniors, this mineral becomes especially important, yet it is one of the most commonly overlooked. Many older adults do not get enough potassium in their diet, and the consequences are often mistaken for other issues: persistent fatigue, muscle weakness, irregular heartbeat, or stubbornly high blood pressure that does not seem to improve even with medication. I remember a gentleman in his early 70s who came to me frustrated because his blood pressure stayed high despite 2 medications. When we looked at his diet, I saw he was eating processed foods with hidden sodium and very little fresh produce. His potassium intake was less than half the recommended amount. By simply adding more bananas, beans, spinach, and a daily serving of yogurt, his blood pressure began to normalize, and he had more steady energy during the day. Sometimes the answer is not adding another pill, but restoring balance through food. Potassium also supports healthy muscles and nerve function. Without it, you may experience cramps, tingling, or even a racing heartbeat at night. It keeps cells hydrated, which is critical as we age and the body becomes more prone to dehydration. There is also strong evidence that diets rich in potassium lower the risk of strokes, one of the biggest fears for older adults. In fact, research shows that people who eat more potassium-rich foods often enjoy better memory and longer independence. The best way to get potassium is naturally, not from supplements unless prescribed, because too much potassium in pill form can be dangerous for people with kidney issues. Luckily, food provides it in safe amounts. Some of the richest sources include bananas, oranges, tomatoes, potatoes, beans, leafy greens, and avocados. Even a simple bowl of vegetable soup or a fruit salad can go a long way. The target for most older adults is around 3,000 to 3,500 milligrams per day, which can be reached with a balanced, whole food diet. Think of potassium as your body's reset button, helping to undo the daily damage of sodium and stress. By making sure you get enough every day, you give your heart, brain, and muscles the gift of steady energy and lasting protection. Mineral 6. Zinc, the protector of immunity and healing. Zinc is one of those minerals that rarely makes headlines, yet it quietly supports nearly every system in your body. I often call it the protector mineral because it strengthens immunity, speeds up wound healing, sharpens taste and smell, and even supports memory. For seniors, zinc becomes especially critical, but unfortunately, many older adults are mildly deficient without realizing it. As we age, the body absorbs zinc less efficiently, and certain medications, like acid blockers for heartburn or water pills for blood pressure, can further reduce zinc levels. The result: you may notice cuts that heal slowly, more frequent colds or infections, a fading sense of taste, or even hair thinning. I recall one woman in her late 60s who kept telling me that food just didn't taste right anymore. She thought it was part of aging, but blood work revealed a zinc deficiency. Once we restored her levels through diet and a gentle supplement, her taste returned, and her appetite improved. Zinc is also essential for maintaining brain health and mood stability. It helps regulate neurotransmitters, the brain's chemical messengers, and may protect against age-related memory decline. In men, zinc plays a key role in prostate health, while in women, it supports hormone balance and skin integrity. When levels are too low, infections linger longer, and the body feels weaker overall. The good news is that zinc is easy to replenish through food. Excellent sources include pumpkin seeds, lentils, chickpeas, cashews, seafood like salmon or shrimp, and lean meats. Many seniors find it easier to add zinc through plant-based foods and seafood rather than relying heavily on red meat, which can cause other health concerns. The daily need is about 8 to 11 milligrams, which is not a large amount, but consistency is the key. If supplements are needed, stick with low to moderate doses, since too much zinc can interfere with copper levels in the body. That balance is important, because both minerals work together for healthy blood and nerves. Think of zinc as the mineral that helps your body defend, repair, and renew itself. From fighting off infections to keeping your memory sharp, it is a simple yet powerful ally for aging gracefully and staying strong. You have just learned about 6 powerful minerals, 3 that can quietly destroy your health when taken in excess, and 3 that can transform your energy, memory, and resilience when used wisely. I want you to pause and reflect on this. Small daily choices, like reading a food label, adding a handful of pumpkin seeds, or rinsing canned beans, can shape the health of your heart, brain, and bones for years to come. It is never too late to make changes, and every step you take toward balance adds up. What I hope you take away from today is that your body is always speaking to you. Those cramps, restless nights, or bouts of forgetfulness are not just old age. Often, they are gentle reminders that something simple is missing or out of balance. By being mindful of minerals like sodium, calcium, and iron, and embracing essentials like magnesium, potassium, and zinc, you give your body the tools it needs to protect itself naturally. I want you to feel empowered, not overwhelmed. You do not have to fix everything in one day. Start with one change, maybe swapping a processed snack for fresh fruit, or adding leafy greens to your dinner, and build from there. Over time, those small decisions create lasting strength, clearer thinking, and more independence. Thank you for spending this time with me. If you found this video helpful, please like it, share it with a friend who might benefit, and subscribe to Zenior Life for more science-backed tips designed just for older adults like you. And if you want to keep learning, I recommend watching my next video on simple daily habits that protect your heart and brain. Remember, you are not just aging, you are evolving, and with the right care, these years can truly be your strongest.